Let's talk about stop killing games for a second. We've talked about this several times on the show, and we kind of back up about 10 days or so. Ross from Kirsche Games released a video where he was talking about how his Stop Killing Games initiative, he was just going to more or less have to stop doing it. Now, for those who don't recall, Stop Killing Games, it says right here, is a consumer movement started to challenge the legality of publishers destroying video games they have sold to customers. An increasing number of video games are sold effectively as goods with no stated expiration date, but designed to be completely unplayable as soon as the support for them from the publisher ends. This practice is a form of planned obsolescence, whatever. Anyways, the idea is that you have rights to a game once a game has been no longer supported by the developer, then it's handed over to the community for further support. Right, that's kind of the idea. That there's once a game is no longer been supported, there's still a way to play it. And this stems back from the Crew 2 and Ubisoft. So, this has been real interesting to watch. Ever since Ross released his video talking about how he's no longer interested in this because, things just weren't going very well. It's not that he wasn't interested in doing it, but he hadn't seen the results that he had hoped. Ever since he released that video, all of a sudden things have picked up steam. He started, when he released that video, at about 430,000 signatures on the petition. Now, this is a petition over, it's only available for the European Union. So if you live over in Europe, which we have a lot of normal men over there, and you care about consumer rights, you can go and sign this petition over here. And the idea is you need 1 million people to sign this. 1 million people by July 31st, 2025. And the petition is more or less just to put it in front of, I guess, the decision makers over there, and for them to prevent the remote disabling of video games by publishers. It says specifically, the initiative seeks to prevent the remote disabling of video games by publisher before providing reasonable means to continue functioning of said video games without involvement from the side of the publisher. So, since he released this, it has gone up over almost 300,000 signatures in the last little bit. It's kind of gone viral. Now, 1 million people to sign anything is a ton of people, especially in Europe, all by itself. But it's seen a tremendous uptick here a little bit because some other creators have started to get on board with this. Most notably, PewDiePie made a video about this, the Stop Killing Games initiative, and he urged his 110 million European YouTube followers to sign the petition over here. Blabs, why don't you read this off really fast?
All right, so PewDiePie says, "Thank you all for your amazing support on my recent videos. I love how I can just nerd out and share whatever with you guys. In the comments, I have seen some of you mention Stop Killing Games, and I want to say I 100% support this movement. It ties in perfectly with what I talked about in my video, ownership over software and the games we buy. Strongly encourage you to sign the petition," and he's got the link.
So to kind of put this in perspective, getting 1 million people to sign anything is ridiculous. And the European Union has a population of 449 million people. So, we're looking at it's not a percent of people, not a full percent, but it's still a lot of people to do it. In addition to PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, of all people, longtime YouTuber, has actually started covering this as well. This is from Accursed Farms just a few minutes ago. This is big thanks to Jacksepticeye for helping cover Stop Killing Games. Seeing all these people support the movement makes me feel less crazy. And he said, "If you care about video games as much as I do, then please support the Stop Killing Games initiative. It's really important to preserve games, especially these days. All you have to do is sign this petition to your support. It's very close to hitting its goal." So, there you go. I mean, it's starting to pick up game, which is pick up some steam, which is a really great thing. Leaflet, your thoughts on this movement? Do you like when it comes to the idea of an online game having an offline mode or like kind of a roadmap on the way out? Do you think that's a feasible option for developers?
So like It's kind of hard to say because like you might have some technology. You might have some technology like in the back end, like the source code, like the server architecture, I guess, could have like some kind of technology that you don't want other people to have, other companies to have, right? And like that is like a part of like your company. When you make like a new game, you would maybe like build upon that. But I think that the argument is fair that like, look, we paid for these games and we're at the mercy of these companies, so there should be a little bit of responsibility on their part to ensure that we can keep playing it. Is this the thing that had the whole controversy with pirate software and stuff? Was that the game?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
I actually don't know too much about it.
Well,
go
yeah,
ahead, sorry.
yeah. Pirate Software posted a few things, and he was very critical of Ross from Accursed Farms in it, and Pirate Software is a very pro developer standpoint on this.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is one of those things where it's built a lot of momentum, and I think the timing on Ross's video, as far as him saying, "Hey, like we got to hit this, otherwise I'm kind of out," right? And he was saying that he'd like to pass this over to somebody else if momentum doesn't hit, but it has 31 days left as of today. So by the end of the month, there needs to be another roughly 250,000 subscribers on it. Or 250,000 signatures on it to get it there. My gut, and maybe I'm wrong here. It wouldn't be the first time this show, but my gut says it's going to fall just short. But I would love to be proven wrong here. Like 1 million people to do anything is a lot, and that's what I just continued. That's what I continue to go back to. Do you guys think it's going to hit its goal?
If it gets a lot of shout outs to like really big YouTubers, kind of like how PewDiePie just did it, if more do that, it might actually just make it. I just wish they had done it earlier so there would be more time to get it done. Like this was over a year ago that it first was announced. It's like, where were you a year ago? But yeah.
It does have a chance, and it was pointed out in the chat right now that I think that for it to hit it, it has to pass the language barrier, and it has to, because there's a lot of people that live in the EU that don't speak English. So that's actually a really good point. The idea that not only are you hitting people in the EU, you're hitting people in the EU that speak English, that can understand what you're talking about.
Well, that's what Ross was saying last year. He was saying it was a huge difficulty to find people who spoke another language besides English and be able to like explain it and promote it and get the word out there in the other languages.
Mm-hmm. Wait, how's that possible? I mean, I just feel like we live in like an internet world where it's easy to connect with people. How are they having trouble?
Yeah, translation and all that. But if they don't watch the videos or anything and they don't want to read the articles, they may not just.
You mean like a content creator? They need a content creator that speaks that language.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they want.
Yeah, they definitely need. And honestly, YouTube has a way to auto transcribe or auto translate videos. I don't know if you remember that feature they rolled out pretty recently. I've actually seen a couple pop up on my feed of like this Indian dude speaking like generic English now. It's kind of funny, but
is it good like translation and stuff too?
It's jarring. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty jarring when you see this guy. It's like watching an old like Japanese movie, like Japanese kung fu movie, right? Yeah, it's dubbed. Yeah. Which is great technology, but it's also very awkward. But that's where we're at now. We're at, we're roughly 258,000 subscribers away, or signatures away from this. I hope it hits. And I think it's going to take more than just a tweet from Jacksepticeye, more than just one video from PewDiePie. I think it's going to take an active campaign. It can't just be one shout out. It's got to be a continuous thing to continue to drive people there. So good luck, Ross. By the way, he said he just wants to continue to hit different shows. We did invite him back on, and anyways, he said as long as he says really just let people know it existing is plenty, and the Americans would get the benefit downstream even if they can't sign directly. He said, I probably said that when I was on. I don't even remember. Anyways, so there you go. Go check it out. If you're in the EU, go sign that and help stop killing games. All right. Let's move on to our next story. But before we do, Thumb Ugly says on Stop Killing Games, created within devs hate old games competing with new games. If buying isn't owning, pirating isn't stealing. Property rights is the root here. Thanks, Thumb Ugly. Mac says back then the publisher solved the entire the online gameplay problem with something like System Link, local LAN. Something like Xbox Live was just a super version of that. Now it means it's a means of control. Thank you, Mac. That's actually a really good point. Interesting. Thanks, Mac. Join the normal men. Hit that subscribe button right here and watch another video right here.